welcome back to the channel of Pro Enzo Vids, and tonight I'll be discussing the big signing news of Brandon Smith signing with the South Sydney Rabbitohs from 2026 and onwards. Big signing there by Souths. For a while now, I believe Wayne Bennett's wanted Brandon Smith in his squads at like Dolphins, for example. And now that he's back at the Bunnies, he'll bring Smith along with him as a Rabbitoh from 2026. So, I guess a bit of context. Roosters looking to offload Smith for a while now. Just hasn't been working there. And I reckon a few clubs were interested in signing him, a few clubs. But I think Souths had a bit more of an appealing offer towards him. And Wayne's always wanted Brandon Smith at like a club, wherever Wayne's coaching at, which is now South. So, obviously he's a Rabbitoh, big signing for them. South's building a pretty solid team there, especially with Wayne still being there for a couple of seasons. So, a lot to look forward to if you're a Bunnies fan, I reckon. But if you're new to the channel, please be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you all for the new support as of recent as well. But if you're new around here, don't forget to subscribe and like the video and share your thoughts on the Brandon Smith to Rabbitoh signing. I rate it personally a lot, so what do you guys think? But yeah, Smith is a Rabbitoh. So something about Brandon Smith I've always wondered is, what is his best position? I reckon he's a lock, personally, or a jersey 14. But I'd say lock just because he has good ball playing for a bigger man, and he's actually got good leg speed too. Hooker, he can play. Like, he can definitely do a job at hooker. But for a full 80 minutes, like the Roosters tried doing with him at there, and still maybe are now, but probably not, with Watson being the favoured 9 at the moment. It doesn't work. I don't think Brandon Smith's game's about organising. Brandon Smith's more of a running player, more of a, energy type player, not an organiser, not a core organiser in the spine. That's not his job. I think definitely being a jersey 14 with impact, like that could work as well. Souths would have Mamazelos, I'm assuming, as their 9 going forward. And if you have the Cheese as your 14, well, talk about energy and talk about the perfect utility. Like, I think Smith can even play prop, honestly. He can play prop. He did once at Melbourne before, I'm pretty sure. But, yeah, 14 or lock, that's his best positions. Hooker is definitely lower on the pecking order with what positions suit Brandon Smith best. But I'd say a lock. So maybe that won't happen with Cam Murray being fit by next year, I'm assuming, at 13. Jai Arrow to prop, maybe. And then, it's a real fight out for that back row position alongside Keon and all that. Maybe Smith as a 14. That might have to happen, but they could move Murray to the back row too. I like Murray in the back row. I think Murray's a lock, in my opinion, but we've seen him have good games in the back row before, so I'm not completely against that idea of having Murray in the back row. But I suppose that's a 2026 problem, and that's something Wayne will sort out by then, I'm sure of it. So, Roosters, I don't know why they've letting go of these sort of players like Terrell May, now Brandon Smith. Like, what's going on? Maybe it's a cap. It can't be a cap thing. Roosters have all the money in the world, but nah, it could be just, I don't know. Maybe it's a bit of a personality shift. Maybe it's a bit of a roster management shift. I don't know. It's a bit weird how Roosters are doing all this, and especially losing who they've already lost, and then to get rid of Terrell May and Brandon Smith, to tell them they're both unwanted. I find that a bit strange, to be honest. But I'm sure Robbo has a way of figuring out why things happen. So yeah, I'm sure Robbo's vision will be very interesting by the time it comes, and we'll see if these moves pay off or not. But so far, losing Terrell May, it's not looking good. But yeah, I don't know. It's interesting because I think Brandon Smith, he's played mostly every game at the Roosters since joining the club in 2023. Like, he's played heaps of games for the Roosters. Hasn't played so far yet this year, coming back from an ACL injury, obviously. So he's still going to be out until like May, I'm assuming. But yeah, he's a good player, Brandon Smith. I think Souths are a good club for him too. Growing up, I think Brandon Smith was a South Sydney Rabbitoh supporter, so it all sort of works out well, seeing that was his childhood club. So might give him that extra motive to don the jersey and really do it prouder, I guess. But yeah, it's a good signing for South Sydney. Brings a lot of energy, and I think Wayne's vision is looking a lot clearer at the club than it has the past couple of years, with South obviously missing finals for the past couple of years. Yeah, Wayne's doing a good job, I reckon. So we'll see how the Cheese goes in 2026, but for now he's a Rooster until next year. But what do you make of his signing? Please be sure to let me know in the comments down below. And as always, like, comment, and subscribe, and have a good rest of your night.